All right. So chapter 24 is on inventory control. And again, what is inventory tied to? Money, exactly. Right? Inventory is money. So in most pharmacies, we may have to borrow money to pay for our bills. And then we have to pay loans and things like that on equipment. So we want to get our money right away. When we're talking about our inventory control, we want to keep enough stock on the shelf to keep our patients happy, that when they come in to fill their prescriptions, we can fill them and get them out, but not so much on the shelf that it costs us money. And we don't want to be deficient, and then they get upset, they leave, they go take their business somewhere else. And again, we would lose money. So it's a balancing act. I used restaurants as an example, but really any kind of store is an example, right? If you're gearing up, you're working at a store, let's say you're working at Walmart, and you're gearing up for start of school, back to school. You can't not order notebooks or pens, right, and expect people to come see you again next year. So it's kind of that same theory, if you would. So in managing inventory control, we will look at how much we should have on hand versus how much we do have on hand and how much we can order. Now, sometimes our on-hand amount is an account. Like we want to have 775 tablets. But the bottle comes in different sizes. It comes 250, it comes 500, it comes 1,000. We're not going to buy a $1,000 count if we only need 100 tablets. We'd buy the 250. So sometimes it's, what do I need to get me to that par level? Sometimes it's, I've already got more than I need, I'm not going to order today. So we look at different factors when we're configuring our order. Now, with POS inventory control, it's a little bit easier, but it doesn't always work. Or what happens is somebody scanned out a bottle that had 1,000 tablets in it, and they dispensed out 30, and then somebody didn't notice that that bottle got knocked into the garbage can. And it's under a bunch of paper, and it went out, and you don't know. And you scan, and it says that you're supposed to have 970 tablets. Or 1,970 tablets. You go to the counter, there's just one new bottle. Where's the 970? Well, it's nowhere to be found. You're going to have to replace it. So we can't always just count on the POS system, because the POS has what we scanned out. We can go in later and edit it and say lost. As long as it's not a narcotic, it's not a huge deal, except it might be with your boss, because you just threw money in the garbage. Or what if we knocked over the bottle and it all fell on the ground? Or there was a spill on the countertop, you knocked it over and it got wet. You know, there's a lot of things that could happen that could throw that POS inventory off if you don't go in and manually adjust it. So when using minimum maximum inventory systems for ordering, the minimum maximum control specifies the point at which an item should be reordered. Bless you. That's the minimum. If you're above the minimum, you don't order. It's when you fall below the minimum that you need to place an order. Because that minimum is going to get you through another 24 hours. We never want to go above the maximum if we can help it. Because again, it's going to sit too long. All right. So example number 1, we've got amoxicillin clavulanate, which is Augmentin. I don't want that one. There we go. I'm just going to use that abbreviation. We want 1,000 milligrams of amoxicillin with 62.5 milligrams of clavulanate. It comes in a 28-count bottle. The shelf label indicates min 8, max 12. We have 7 bottles on the shelf. Okay. How many bottles should we order? Now, according to this, these bottles can be ordered individually. Things we would have to take into consideration. What if you can only order 6 at a time, right? It comes 6 to a box or something like that. So those things come into play. Those are the only occasions where you would go above your maximum. When you can't break packages. Oh no, we're back to breaking boxes. All right. So, how many would we order? Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yeah, so it's an 8-12 count. The count is whatever the unit is for how we're counting that product. So in this case, it's bottles. For something else, it could be tablets. Or it could be milliliters. It could be, different things. Probably not milliliters. Vials, bottles, tablets. So you just kind of have to go with what the problem's telling you. So in this case, we're below. We're going to check those 2 numbers first. Are we at minimum? Are we above minimum? Are we below minimum? So we're below minimum, so that means order. Nope. We're gonna level up to the max. Okay? If we're gonna place an order, we're gonna take it to the max. So exactly. So we need to order. So our max being 12, on hand is 7. Our order is going to be 5. Yes, ma'am. It can be. It can be. So especially in a hospital, there's a position called a buyer. Usually in retail, especially if you're at a busy store, a tech may be responsible to check all the ordering to make sure that everything's getting done. So yeah, if you're a numbers person, there's lots of good jobs for numbers people in pharmacy. And some of you don't like math, but you're still kind of a numbers person. Like this kind of numbers. All right, so example number 2 is insulin. So in this one, we need Humulin N U100, which is what kind of insulin? N? No? N? NPH. It's insulin isophane, NPH insulin. P&G tomorrow. All right, so we've got U100, the min-max, and I like to rewrite this on my paper. So my min is 10, my max is 40. Okay, my on-hand is 8. Okay, so 8 is less than 10, so I need to order. I'm going to read and see. Because there's fewer than 10 bottles, Subtract. Now, this one's not telling me I have to order by the case. Sometimes things do. Or a box. So, like if I'm ordering vials of saline, just 10 milliliter vials, they come 25 to a box. You can't just order 5. So that's why I'm always looking for more information before I determine what I'm going to do. So I'm looking and no, I can order singular boxes, which we now cost like $300 a bottle, right, for insulin. Isn't that crazy? All right. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to subtract my on-hand from my max and stock my shelf. So how many do I need? 32. Good. Not so bad so far, right? All right, let's do another. So the next example is Flonase. Anybody know the generic name for Flonase? Fluticasone. I kind of start bringing prizes or candy or something that I can toss out. Because you're using it. All right. So fluticasone, nasal inhalation, 50 micrograms per inhalation, min-max, min 2, max 6. This must be in a non-allergy season or cold season. We have on hand 3. How many are we ordering? 4. Of course, it also has Flonase at the bottom with the fluticasone label. Just like the NPH label was right there too. All right, Hyzar, which will be on next week's list, is a combination drug. It's losartan, an ARB with hydrochlorothiazide, HCTZ, and we need 2. No, minimum is 2. Max is 3. We have on hand 1. So how many are we going to order? We're going to order 2. Easy peasy, right? All right. Let's jump over to the ones that aren't giving you all the answers. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. No. All right. Ambien. What's our min? What's our max? What do we have on hand? Or what are we going to order? None. So this book is kind of doing it very simply. Where in POS you're going to have tablet count. So if it said that you had, let's see if it tells us how many count is in the bottle. See, it's not even telling us how many count are in the bottle. So it's just min-max. So you kind of get that, right? All right, let's see. I'm trying to find one that's... All right, so that's min-max. Par levels are also kind of in that theory of min-max. It's the level that we want to be at to maintain our stock. So we do different things with par levels. I'm looking at all the same thing. I'm going to give you an example. We have a drug. Let's say it's that. We'll use that first one as an example. Let's say we have Ambien. And it comes 30 count. Okay? Now, if we want to have on hand 75, we'll say minimum 75 with a max of 180. And on hand, we have 55. First off, do we need to order? Because we don't have 75. So that's the first question. Do we need to order? Once you answer yes, now we have to determine how many bottles will we order. So how many do we need to get us up to that max? How many tablets do we need? Not bottle. How many tablets to get to the max? Because when we order, we're going to go to that max. So we need 125 tablets to get to that 100, if we could just order a tablet, right? Now we need to order enough bottles that will get us close to 180 without going over. It's like the Price is Right. You have to get close without going over. Yes, ma'am. 125 divide by 30. It's 4 point something, right? So 4 plus. We're only ordering whole bottles. So we're going to order 4 bottles. Divide by 30. We need 4 bottles. We're going to go up to the max level. Some places it depends. There's always going to be exceptions, right? If you're headed into a slow season, you might order down a little bit. If you're getting into a busy season or it's a weekend order that needs to get you through to Monday, you might go over the 180. You might go ahead and order that 5th bottle just to be safe. We're not going to worry about those exceptions. We're just doing the math. Okay? A couple of weeks ago, this is what gave you problems with your refill adjustments. See? Now that you've mastered that, how easy this is? It builds. It builds. So the order would be for 4 bottles. So this is more realistic because your computer system isn't keeping track of how many bottles you have, but how many tablets or capsules you have. Now, if it only comes in a bottle, then it's going to count the bottle. Like if it's an Augmentin or nitroglycerin or something that's dispensed in that package, eye drops, it's going to count that. It's not going to count the milliliters. Now, if we have like a gallon container of cough medicine that we pour out for all the patients, it would count that in milliliters, not bottles. Right. So if it's in a unit of use, it gets counted in that unit of use. If it is in a multi-use, it gets counted by whatever those units are in that multi-use. So this just throws a little extra into it. It's not making it much more difficult than it was. Let's try another one. Let's say we have Xalatin eye drops. These are used for glaucoma. It's lantoprostal. It's a prostaglandin. And let's say it comes in 2.5 milliliter drop bottles. We'll call it a vial. Our min is 6, and our max is, well, no, let's make the max 6. Because these have to be stored in the refrigerator. They're pretty fragile. We'll say our min is 3. And we have on hand 4. Do we need to order? No, that one was too easy. Let's say we have, okay, we're in the hospital. I'm ordering sodium chloride or potassium chloride, 20 ml vials. It's 40 MEQ per 20 ml. Because we have to know which strength we're ordering, so when we go to look for the order, we order the right strength and the right size, right? So it's 20 ml vials. Our min is 250. Our max is 375. And it comes 25 per box. Instead of per box. Let's see. On hand, we have 200 and I'll rewrite it. Oops, I keep doing that. Okay. We're looking for KCl 20 milliliter vials that have a strength of 40 MEQ per milliliter, so that we order the right size. It comes 25, bless you, vials per box. Okay? On hand, we have 238 vials. Yep. We don't have to convert. That's just there to tell us we're getting the right size. Okay, say I was ordering t-shirts for everybody in program. I need 14 t-shirts. Are they all the same size? I need to know what size I need to order. They're all the same shirt, but they don't all come in the same size. So potassium chloride comes in different size vials. So you have to know which one it is you're ordering. Does that make sense? Okay. We cannot break a box. All right, so we need to order. How many do we need to bring us to max? 137? To level up to max, 137. Well, that doesn't divide by 25, does it? 5.4. So how many are we going to order? 5. Which is 125. 5 boxes at 25 per box is equal to 125. That's what we're ordering. 5 boxes. Because if we ordered 6, we'd have 150 vials. We don't need 150 vials. Yes, I do have a worksheet.